Hello and welcome to Punk Rock Tabletop. I think that's what this is. Today we're continuing to roll up stats. This one will be for another D&D 4th edition character. This one played by everybody's favorite, Brii-Squared.
Hello,
She's right over there.
I'm here.
So what are you rolling up? What's your character concept?
I am rolling up a half-elf bard. Her name is Miali Loreweaver. Her father was the elf, her mother was the human. They are fairly well off and often noble. She goes by Mimi. She's had a pretty cushy life, and she just likes to play her lute all day, but in my mind she's a cute girl with a ukulele.
You are all about that ukulele. We can already see that she's already put a lot more thought into the background of her character than I have in mine, which is actually to be expected, all par for the course.
It is?
So we've got already a class, I believe is Bard. Got a race, so we've made notes on two stats. Our cat Jasper Boodle of the New Hampshire Boodles is sitting directly on the notepad and the dice rolling area, so we must be ready to go. Am I talking into a tape recorder or the rear end of Jasper? Apparently now is the tape recorder. Alright, let's start rolling some numbers. See what we can come up with here.
Let's put the pen right here.
Also, the last day of a whole bunch of free-to-play heroes on Heroes of the Storm. So, you got two sixes, a 4, and a 1. Let's re-roll that 1. You're already starting off with a pretty solid 16.
There we go. That's a 16.
It's crazy how quickly I can add up these numbers. It's almost like I've done this a couple of times before. You got one stat of 16. Again, 10 being average. We're freaking heroes, so anything above a 10 is actually pretty fantastic.
Yes, and she should be pretty impressive, so,
13.
Yes.
5, 4, 4, 4. Highest 3. Again, it's kind of amazing. I like how you still double check my math. I understand I went to Halls High School. You don't always have to check. Okay, it's a good idea you check my math and grammar.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I don't trust anybody.
Never a Halls graduate either. Alright, let's keep these dice flowing. I already see a 6 to 4, so you're starting off pretty well, so 13. Yeah, not bad so far. Everything above average. That's what we like seeing in our heroes. Yes. Now, did you say a lute or ukulele? Because
well,
it could just fly.
In my mind, it's a ukulele, but if I have to go appropriate to the location, I am willing to call it a lute. But she's a cute elf girl with a ukulele.
Thomas Fixgomer wizarded up a ukulele. So that's a 10. So you got one average stat.
That'll probably be strength.
Because it's not going to be the usual dump stat of charisma.
No, charisma is actually the most important stat for a bard.
I believe I said that in my article. This is one of the few RPGs I've played where charisma is not the dump stat. Looks like you got another 13 there. You got a 6, 4, and 3.
Yep.
How about that? So far, 16, 13, 13, 10, 13, and you have one more. See what they will be. 4, 4, 3, and 3, 11. So again, not
I guess maybe dexterity. Yes. She's clever, she's, streetwise, she's everything that she needs to be, but maybe has never had a whole lot of combat experience growing up wealthy.
That would kind of make sense, unless she was like some weird little fencer or something that the wealthy aristocrats do. I don't know, I'm just one of the poor people.
That is possible. And I do get a +2 to my constitution and a +2 to my charisma, which, again, is my most important stat, so a half-elf is pretty much made to be a bard.
That's true. I know the books kind of separate or kind of want you to go into two different versions of your class. Which one are you kind of leaning? I know I kind of picked and chose the one I did.
Yes, they have the Cunning Bard and the Valorous Bard. I am planning to do the Cunning Bard because essentially cunning tends to favor the stories about the tricksters and stay in the back of the group. directing from the rear, and the Valorous Bard is going to charge in first, and that does not fit my character concept at all.
Particularly combining your character concept with mine.
Right. If she is, as far as I'm concerned, the way she met your character is you were opportune. As far as she is concerned, it was an opportune moment. You were looking for a bard to remind everyone that you are indeed a wizard. And she was looking to get out of town because she had mistakenly insulted at an open mic night kind of thing the mistress of a pretty high-ranking bad guy in the town without meaning to. So, her ego kind of got her in trouble. You needed a bard. She can strum a ukulele. So,
she needed out.
So it was perfect. It was kismet. They were meant to be.
And it would almost make sense for the way I'm building up Tomix to not really care about your background as long as you keep playing that sweet, sweet ukulele and reminding everybody that I'm a freaking wizard.
Indeed.
Alright, so we got some stats. As we all know, the next fun part is assigning stats and choosing spells, more of which will appear probably next week at www.theculturecache.com. I know you've heard this all before. Patreon, different sections, donate. There's a Paul joke on screen in here somewhere at some point. Have a good evening.